Hey guys, and welcome to my review of Hell in a Cell 2014. Now, overall, I believe this, in my opinion, was a fairly decent show. Not too bad, one of the best pay-per-views we've had in quite a while. So we're going to kick things off, we're going to go through the card as it happened. So let's start off with a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro. Now, let me get this straight, guys. The wrestling in this match was fantastic. Very, very good. I can't really fault that. But the thing that really got to me was the fact that the stipulation was pretty much obsolete. I mean, 2 out of 3 falls was pretty much pointless. I mean, I know it's very cliche to have one guy win the first fall, another guy tie it up the second, and then someone wins it at the end. I know that's cliche, but at the same time, what's the point in having 2 out of 3 falls if someone's just gonna get 2 consecutive falls anyway? They might as well have had just a decent length single falls match and, you know, just have that extra bit of wrestling rather than, you know, the quick falls. Because personally, I think it made Cesaro look really weak in this. You know, the fact that he loses 2 falls to Dolph Ziggler, you know, without even getting any momentum himself. I mean, I can't take it away. It wasn't a burial or anything like that. I mean, Cesaro put on a fantastic show, some great manoeuvres. But overall, yeah, I definitely think they'd have been better off going along the lines, maybe of just a single falls match or something along those lines. The thing is, I didn't see a lot of this match because my connection kept cutting out while I was watching it. So it's hard really to judge this, but based on what I've heard and read, it was a very, very, very good match. So overall, I'm going to rate this match a C. I would have given it a B had it not been for the fact that the stipulation was pretty pointless. But yeah, so a B for the actual in-ring action, but it takes it down to a C because of the pointless stipulation. Okay, so now we're moving on to the second match of the card. Nikki versus Brie Bella. Okay, this match, for me, was... It wasn't the worst Divas match I've ever seen, but it definitely wasn't the best. It needed a lot more to it, you know, to say that there was this really hated rivalry. There just wasn't all that much that excited me about this match. I mean, the ending was good. I mean, both Bellas showed, you know, they do have some talent in the ring, but they definitely need a bit more work. That has to be said for sure. So, yeah, I'm going to be real quick with this one, guys. I don't think it was great. Nikki Bella ended up winning, and that's pretty much all there is to say. So now Brie has to be Nikki Bella's personal assistant for the next 30 days. So, yeah, we'll see how that plays out, guys. Okay, the next match, WWE Tag Team Title match. The Usos versus Goldust and Stardust. Yeah, that's what I like to refer to them as, guys. Yeah, very, very decent tag team match. Some very good spots. It's kind of disappointed that Stardust didn't get a little more offense. We didn't really see much of him. Like, I think he started out the match against Jimmy. Yes, that's right. Stardust against Jimmy. Made the tag to Goldust, really, and then it was pretty much all Goldust the rest of the match. Obviously, the big talking point of this was the double superplex, which I forgot to mention actually in the Cesaro and Dolph Ziggler. He turned, was it a headlock into a delayed superplex, it was really awesome, I heard, but sadly I didn't get a chance to see it. But if you missed the event, definitely look it up, I'd say. And then in this match, yeah, we had a double superplex. Jimmy and Jay had Goldust and Stardust on either corner, took them up and did a simultaneous superplex to each of them. So yeah, very good. Goldust and Stardust retained after Stardust gets a cheap shot in on Jay, I think it was, and Goldust hits his finisher for the win. Yeah, definitely seen a lot more heel movement out of Goldust and Stardust in this match. You know, a lot of cheap attacks and, you know, sneak attacks, you know, hitting them against the ropes and waiting for the 5 count, things like that. So definitely building up more towards a heel tag team now. And to be honest, I quite like this new aggressive Goldust and Stardust. I mean, tweeners aren't the worst thing in the world, but in my opinion, with an act like this, they need to have a place. You can't really have it in between. It's like having the Wyatt family as like tweeners between baby faces and heels. It wouldn't work. You need to have them one side or another. So yeah, Goldust and Stardust retain. Overall, I think I'm going to give this match a C. It was a very good match, some decent wrestling, but it definitely could have done a little bit more. But yeah, I'm going to give it a C, maybe C+, same as Ziggler and Cesaro. Okay, now for anyone who didn't see the event, this is going to come as a bit of a shock. The next match on the card was a Hell in a Cell match. Randy Orton versus John Cena. Yes, that's right, guys, it did not main event the card. So yeah, very, very good match here. Well, I say very, very good match. By Cena and Orton standards, it was a very good match. Nothing special, it's a lot of what we've seen before, really. A lot of back and forth, you know, hitting of finishers and things like that. quite a few chairs and tables. Wasn't the worst match I've ever seen, but there wasn't really any innovation in terms of like what they could do. Randy Orton hitting a big RKO out of nowhere, which everyone in the crowd popped for, you know, because of all the Vine videos and things. And if you haven't seen them, go check them out, because I've got a feeling this is actually going to play into a storyline at some point. So, you know, only got the 2 count. Cena hits him with the AA off the top rope through a table for the win. We've seen that happen before. So, yeah, nothing really special with the finish. So, yeah. And then to end the match, Cell gets raised, and Paul Heyman's looking on from the panel, you know, sort of like looking a little bit worried. So obviously, we've got Brock Lesnar versus John Cena 3 out of 4, whichever it is. Because yes, I forgot to mention actually that this match was for the #1 contendership for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, overall, it's hard to place this really. I mean, I personally enjoyed it, but I know a lot of people out there didn't. I'm going to give it a B-. It wasn't the worst that we've ever seen, but there was some good storytelling in the ring. Nothing unique about the offense, though, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think it did okay, you know, for the stipulation and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to give it a C plus B minus. That's all right. I think I'm going to go B minus. Okay, the next match on the card: WWE United States title match: The Miz versus Sheamus. Yeah, this match was really nothing special at all. It was your basic, like, SmackDown or Raw match, nothing special at all. The only decent thing about this match was Damien Mizdow just selling all the moves on the outside of the ring. He's the only thing, in my opinion, that's really keeping The Miz on TV. He hasn't done much, and I don't really find him that exciting. I mean, like a few years ago, I actually thought he had a lot of potential, but now, you know, there's only so much cocky and brash that you can take, you know, from a guy like that. So yeah, Sheamus hits with the bro kick, and then afterwards he picks up the Miz's like lifeless body and starts moving around like a puppet, whilst Mizdow mimics and copies that. So that was quite amusing, it was quite entertaining. But apart from that, yeah, nothing too special. I'm going to give this match a D, just because it wasn't really pay-per-view worthy in my opinion. I think it was, you know, just your average run-of-the-mill SmackDown or Raw match. I mean, the in-ring action wasn't bad, but I definitely think they could have done a little bit more. And to be honest, I expected more from Mizdow, or like something where Mizdow took the place of The Miz, won the title, and then The Miz took the title as his own, maybe leading to a future face turn for Mizdow, because he's getting over, and I'm really happy about that. Always been a big Sandow, Mizdow, whatever you want to call him, fan. And yeah, I think he's a great talent, I really do. Hoping for a face turn from him in the near future, but I'm interested to see where this goes first. Moving swiftly on now to America versus Russia. Rusev versus The Big Show. Now, this match was actually better than what I thought it was going to be. Definitely better than what I thought it was going to be. It was your standard big man match, but Rusev using his incredible and amazing speed and athleticism to, you know, keep The Big Show down, you know, hit him with the drop kicks and things like that, so pretty good. The main gripe was the fact that the ending was so predictable. You know, Mark Henry comes down and, you know, Rusev takes him out, and then Big Show gets distracted and stuff like that. Rusev beats him with the accolade. That's pretty much all there is to say about this. But for a big man match, I definitely thought it was actually, you know, pretty good. So overall, I'm going to give this match a C. I really want to see Rusev against some other guys. And I don't want to see him tear him apart. I want him to see against guys like Sheamus or Orton, you know, guys who can actually really work against a big man, and just see, like, you know, what they produce, because I think that they could have some really great chemistry in the ring, you know, if given enough time. And Rusev will eventually, you know, make his way towards the top of the card, where he'll face Cena and probably get his ass kicked, so. Right. The second to last match on the card was the WWE Divas title match. Paige versus AJ Lee. Again, a very decent match in the ring, you know, some pretty good offense. It was very short though, obviously, to make time for the main event, which is kind of a shame. I would like to have seen these two go a bit further. And the thing that really rubbed my goat with this is the fact that Paige is stood on the barrier outside. AJ pulls her foot off, Paige falls, and then AJ runs back into the ring. Then Alicia Fox runs around, puts her back into the ring, and then AJ slaps on the Black Widow for the win. So again, someone else from the outside, you know, getting involved in the match, which is causing the decision. And it's just, I mean, I know if you're watching on the network, it's like $9.99 a month. So WWE are going to do this a lot more, you know, a lot of more non-finishes. But come on, guys, you know what I mean? 2 matches in a row. That is just ridiculous, in my opinion, and you really need to do something about that. And then after the match, Paige slaps Alicia Fox, shouting that she hates her. That's pretty much how it finishes. It's really hard to mark this one. I mean, they did work really well, but it was just such a short match that you didn't really get a chance to see all that much. And plus, we've seen it a lot of times before. I'm going to give this a rank D, I'd say. Just because, you know, it's something we've seen before. Again, outside interference. Not to take anything away from the guys. This is more about the booking side of things, rather than, you know, the actual competitors themselves. But, yeah. So here it is, guys. The main event. Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe, finally gets his hands on his former tag team partner and friend Seth Rollins inside the cell. Now, this match actually started out before the bell rang. We had not Seth Rollins, but we had Dean Ambrose come down wearing like a holder for a kendo stick, like a little sash thing attached in the back. Comes into the ring, throws a ton of chairs into the ring, then climbs up to the top of the cell. Seth Rollins then comes out with Mercury and Noble, sends them up top after him, and then Dean starts hammering away at him with the kendo stick. Seth comes up, takes him down, and then Mercury and Noble are there holding Dean Ambrose while Seth just starts smacking him with the kendo stick. And eventually Ambrose starts to fight him off, so Rollins starts running away, starts climbing down the cell where the announcers' tables are. Dean Ambrose quickly follows, and then people were saying about halfway up. I think it was more like 3/4 of the way up, so more near the top than what people were saying. The fight on top of the cell, and both competitors fall off the cell through both announce tables, the normal and the Spanish, and laid out cold. You know, a lot of people seem to like this, but I heard some criticism of it. It's like, oh, but it was done 15 years ago, and yeah, we've already seen it. Just get him with the cell match, man. But at the same time, I think it worked really, really well for this match, just to show, you know, how far Dean Ambrose would actually go to get his hands on Seth Rollins and just to punish him relentlessly. And I think it's also a great show of the tenacity of both competitors, you know, the fact that they're willing to actually go out and perform a stunt like that, which could actually potentially shorten a career. I mean, I know you're saying that it's fake and all that baloney, but hopefully the people that are watching this are, you know, the die-hard fans, and you know that if you fall nearly 20 feet to the ground, it's going to hurt. It's going to have some effect on the body. So I definitely think it's a good show to say that these guys, you know, we can main event, we will main event, and this is the sort of thing you will get if we main event a show. And I loved it. So moving on, yeah, both men got put onto the stretchers. And of course, Dean Ambrose, you know, fights off the stretcher, goes after Rollins, drags him back in, throws him into the cell, into the ring, and then requests that the referee locks the door up. So yeah, he wasn't letting Rollins get away. And then, yeah, we got a lot of Ambrose offense here. I mean, he was really hammering on him with chairs, putting him through tables. Yeah, puts him through the table and he's attacking Rollins out on the floor when Kane out of nowhere, oh my god. No, I'm just kidding. Kane's there with the fire extinguisher, blasts Ambrose in the face with it, which allows Rollins to get some offense. Does a running powerbomb through a table which is leant up against the side of the cell. Actually a really good manoeuvre, you know, sold it really well. Puts him back into the ring, nails an amazingly powerful curb stomp. I thought that was it. I mean, he hit it with such force, and Ambrose sold it so well. He's out, and a very, very close two count. He barely gets his shoulder off the mat just before the 3. Oh, the crowd went wild for that. It was amazing. Rollins and starts unloading with a chair on Dean Ambrose. I mean, really, it's pounding him. And then he goes outside to get the briefcase to do the curb stomp onto the briefcase. But Ambrose blocks the attack, and Rollins blocks a dirty deeds attempt. Ambrose comes firing back with a big clothesline, nails Rollins with the case and a cover for the 2 count. So, yeah, now we're starting to get to the climax of the match. I think the way that they did this was actually superb. They went outside, Ambrose brings in 2 massive cinder blocks, and you're like, oh crap, this is getting serious here. So he gets him in the ring, gets ready to hit a big manoeuvre on Rollins. I can't remember exactly what it was. Boom! Lights go out. That's it. We hear this weird chanting in the background, and the crowd is loving it. All the cell phones are on the air trying to see what's going on, and I'm just sat here like, oh my god. Here he comes, and of course, we all know, Bray Wyatt. That's right, he is back. Yep, darkness, lantern in the middle of the ring, all this smoke, which makes it look like a hologram's appearing, and then, boof, hits him out of nowhere with a massive clothesline, completely runs him over, which allows Rollins to pick up the victory, and then, yeah, so he hits him with a big clothesline, you know, completely bowls him over. Then he does the crab walk, you know, the famous, like, is it The Exorcist that it's from? The Exorcist crab walk, which was absolutely incredible. So yeah, he does that. And then Wyatt lays Ambrose out again and sits on his knees while Rawlins crawls over for the cover. 1, 2, 3, Rawlins picks up the victory. And then Wyatt lifts Ambrose up and nails him with Sister Abigail. So we all know where this is going now, guys. We are going to have Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose at Survivor Series, which is going to be, in my opinion, an incredible match. The promo work for that is going to be incredible. Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is now that I've done my review, if that's all you want to see, you can by all means shut off the video here. But if you want to keep listening, I'm going to tell you where I think this is now going to lead up into Survivor Series. So, the most logical things, in my opinion, is that we're probably going to get Big Show versus Mark Henry match at Survivor Series. That's pretty much guaranteed, unless, of course, they want to do another match with Rusev. Someone screws it up again, and then we get either the Big Show or the Mark Henry heel turn. But I think that's going to happen before then, and then we'll get Big Show versus Mark Henry match. In terms of the Cena and Orton feud, what I would do is I would have Team Cena versus Team Rawlins at Survivor Series. Because I think Cena being the number one contender and Rawlins being Mr. Money in the Bank, I think that those two could work really well, and it'll keep moving Seth Rollins up, up the ladder towards the main event scene, ready for whenever he's going to cash in the Money in the Bank. So the way I do it is, because Survivor Series in St. Louis, Randy Orton's hometown, you have Team Cena. I'm not really sure who'd be on the team at the minute, but you know Cena, he'd find, the right people to go on it. So I've got Team Cena versus Team Rollins, and Orton's there like, I should be the team leader, I've been around more, and then Triple H is putting him down, Cena beat you at Hell in a Cell, you don't deserve it, all this sort of thing. So you get like Kane, Rawlins, Orton, a couple of other guys in the Survivor Series match, and then it comes down at the end to Cena versus Rawlins and Randy Orton. Now these two guys are approaching Cena. Cena's in the corner, he's ready for a fight. Then boom, RKO out of nowhere, Rawlins is laid out, Randy Orton gets up, leaves, Cena picks him up, hits him with the attitude adjustment, and there you have the Randy Orton face turn, which I think, if you're going to do a face turn for Randy Orton, you might as well do it in his hometown. And that's, in my opinion, is the best way to go around it. Because since he's not going to be in the title picture, you can then have Randy Orton going against the Authority, which I think it's going to be something a bit fresh, to see Orton on the opposite side of things. Then you can have Cena going into his program with Lesnar, or staying in a program with Rawlins, whichever way really. But yeah, obviously we will eventually go into the program with Lesnar. And then obviously we have Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. The only other thing I would possibly consider doing is, I don't know where Nikki and Brie are going to fit into this match. It's quite strange. But I think, in my opinion, the way things are going with AJ Lee and Paige, we may see Team AJ versus Team Paige. But based on what Paige has been doing lately with the Divas, smacking him in the face and, hate you and, turning their backs on him, I can see it being a case where we have a 5-on-5 match, and then, the match goes on as normal. Paige starts insulting and talking about all the Divas on her team, and then eventually they all get up, leave her, and then Paige just gets decimated. That's the way I can see it going. But at the same time, I think it's going to be like a bit of a beatdown on Paige, and then Paige is going to come back slowly but surely, maybe taking out the team. And then, of course, if you have Nikki and Brie on opposing sides, since one has to be this personal assistant, you could do maybe another possible turn thing, where she turns on the team, or, where she doesn't go for a pin, or just lays down for a pin, something like that. So you could fit that dynamic nicely into the Divas match, because I don't really think we want to see another Nikki versus Brie singles match. Not me, anyway. But yes, that is pretty much all I can think of leading up to Survivor Series. If I think of anything else, guys, I will let you know. I'll share my comments on this new channel. Also, if you like gameplay, you'll see a link either on the video or in the description. I have a gameplay channel. It's called Rapture Plays. So if you want, guys, you like games, check that out. It's a pretty new channel as well. But yeah, if you like that sort of thing, check it out. Also, stay tuned to NoDQ.com for all the latest wrestling news and rumours. It's my source for pretty much all of my information, and I think that the work of Aaron Rift is very good. Check out his Noddy Q&A videos. That's about it, guys, but stay tuned to this channel, subscribe, do all the usual, and yeah, and then you'll be the first to know when a new video goes up online. So I'll see you guys later. This is Glenn Dolan, signing off.